Band has had the most consecutive studio albums to debut at #1 on the Billboard charts. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones? Surprisingly not. It's the Dave Matthews Band. The Dave Matthews Band has had 6 consecutive studio albums to debut at the top of the Billboard charts. While releasing studio albums, the band has also become well known for their live performances. According to dnbalmanac.com, the band has played over 2,200 shows at over 1,700 venues. The band has become popular across the globe and has a large and diverse fan base. I personally have seen the band 15 times at venues as far away as Washington State. To better understand the popularity of the Dave Matthews Band, one must first understand the history of the band's music and discography, as well as the band's accomplishments. Let's first discover the history of the Dave Matthews Band. The Dave Matthews Band is made up of Dave Matthews, Boyd Tinsley, Carter Beauford, Stefan Lessard, Jeff Coffin, Rashawn Ross, Tim Reynolds, and the late Leroy Moore. Dave Matthews is originally from South Africa, and Tim Reynolds is a St. Louis native. According to DaveMatthewsBand.com, Leroy passed away on August 19, 2008, from complications sustained in an ATV accident occurring in late June. Also, according to DaveMatthewsBand.com, the Dave Matthews Band formed in Charlottesville, Virginia in early 1991. Dave originally met drummer Carter Beauford and original saxophonist Leroy Moore after deciding to include additional instruments into the recordings of some songs Dave had recently written. Stefan Lessard is the bassist for the band and is also the band's youngest member. He joined the band at the tender age of 16. Prior to joining the Dave Matthews Band, Boyd Tinsley was classically trained as a violinist. The first public performance of the Dave Matthews Band was May 11, 1991, at a private party in Charlottesville, Virginia. Early on, the band often played gigs at Eastern Standard and Tract nightclub. By 1993, the band was touring regularly, and in 1991, the band was featured at Woodstock 99. Now, with a better understanding of the roots of the band, we can learn about the albums that the band released. Dave Matthews Band released 4 studio albums in the 1990s, but before they released any studio albums, they released their first album, Remember Two Things, on the band's private label, Bama Rags. Remember Two Things was released November 9th, 1993. Under the Table and Dreaming, the band's first studio album, was released September 27th, 1994. Crash was released April 30th, 1996. Before These Crowded Streets was released April 28th, 1999. Dave Matthews Band has released 5 studio albums since the year 2000, first of which being Every Day, released on February 27th, 2001. Busted Stuff, released July 16th, 2002. Stand Up, released May 5th, 2005. Big Whiskey and the Groove-Rux King, released June 2nd, 2009. And their most recent studio album, Away from the World, was released September 11th, 2012. The Dave Matthews Band is also well known for their live performances. Nikki Van Noy, author of So Much to Say, Dave Matthews Band, 20 Years on the Road, describes the uniqueness of a Dave Matthews Band performance by writing, "As the years have gone on, live shows have become much more than just music. They're a chance to visit both new and familiar spots far-flung across the country, and in some cases the world, and to meet up with fellow fans who over the years have become lifelong friends with the shared appreciation of DMB's music at the friendship's core." The band has become well known for their unique performances as well as the positive atmosphere at their shows. I personally wasn't sold on the band until one of my friends drugged me to a show. One song into the concert, I was hooked. Now I'm what you'd consider a die-hard fan and even have a tattoo inspired by the band. Now that we know more about the music DMB produced, we can learn about the band's accomplishments. The Dave Matthews Band has been nominated for 14 Grammy Awards and won their only Grammy Award in 1997 for Best Rock Vocal Performance for a Duo or Group. The band has been nominated for 6 MTV Video Music Awards, and in 2001 they won all 3 categories for which they were nominated at the My VH1 Music Awards. The Dave Matthews Band also shares their success through philanthropic work. In September 2007, Dave Matthews Band, John Mayer, Noss, Phil Vassar, all performed a benefit concert for the students, faculty, and other members of the community affected by the Virginia Tech shootings. In 2010, the band established the Bama Works Haiti Relief Fund to provide long-term support for the region after the devastating earthquake. The Dave Matthews Band has remained popular for over 20 years. Nikki Van Noy describes the success of the band as 7 studio albums, 55 official live releases, 15 of which have been certified gold by the RIAA, and more than 30 million albums sold later. DMB has not only survived 2 decades in a fickle industry, but has prospered. The band formed in 1991 in Charlottesville, Virginia, and has transformed into an international success due to its unique music, live performances, and fan base.